Chapter 1, Mishnah 4. Having listed items that are subject to the Challah obligation but are not subject to the Meiser obligation, the Mishnah now lists items that are subject to the Meiser obligation but are not subject to the Challah obligation. We now turn to the words of the Mishnah. The following items are subject to Meiseros but exempt from Challah. Dough made from rice, millet, poppy, sesame, and legumes. All of these are subject to the obligation of Meiseros because Meiser applies to any edible produce, not just the 5 species. However, dough from these species is not subject to the obligation of Challah because only the 5 species are obligated in Challah. See Mishnah 1. Also subject to Meiseros, but not to Challah, is dough made from less than 5 reva'im, i.e. 1 1/4 kav, of grain flour, even if it was made from the 5 species. Dough made from less than 5 reva'im of flour is subject to Meiseros, because Meiseros apply to any amount. Yet it is exempt from Challah because it is derived from a verse that the minimum amount of flour that is subject to the Challah obligation is 5 reva'im. The Mishnah lists several other items that are exempt from Challah. Suf ganin, a sponge-like bread made by mixing flour and water into a batter instead of a thick dough. Duv shanin, made by mixing flour and water into a batter and frying it in honey. Wafers, made from a very thin batter. Pan loaf, made by pouring hot water over dough. And bread made from meduma flour, a mixture of chulin and truma flour, are all exempt from Challah. Sufkanin, duv shanin, wafers, and pan loaf are exempt because they are not considered bread. Bread made from meduma flour is exempt because it is treated as terumah, and terumah is exempt from the Challah obligation.